Yo, welcome back to CC4Comics. I'm your boy Tone with another quick book checkup. This segment I've decided to call it Whip or Schnick. This is the sound that Wolverine's claws make when they come out. See it up there on the wall right there? And this is the sound of Spider-Man's webbing when it comes out of his hand, his arm, his wrist. So basically this is how I do my book reviews. If I like a book, it gets the mad whip. That means go out and grab it. And if it's whack, then we go out and we schnick it. We slice it up. It ain't no good. So the book I want to talk to you about tonight is a book that came across my table strictly by accident. Again, it's a book, once again, that I never even knew existed. And that's what drives me crazy sometimes. And that's also the joy of reading these books, because a lot of times you don't even know what's out there, man. There's so much stuff out there. All right. So before I even show you what the book is, let me just give you a history on how I came to know about the book. One day I'm outside. I decided that I want to alphabetize my comic collection, so I took all the books out front, set up the table, and I just started working them. A few minutes later, this cat walks by. He's like, "Yo, it's a comic?" I said, "Yeah, I love reading them." We start talking. We have a beer together. That dude later on turns out to be a very good friend of me and my family. His name is Diego Rooks. Big up to Diego. And turns out Diego's into comics, TPs, trade paperbacks, graphic novels, and he's a big collector of statues. He loves collecting the ill statues. And so as time went on, I checked out his collection. Very vast, very big. Wow, nice collection. So one day he decided, we're talking about books, and he asked me what I like to read. I told him what I'm really into is what I like, and he said one of my biggest things is sci-fi, especially off-world adventures, space adventures, because books that are done from an earthly perspective can get a little limited. Whereas when you open your mind to the universe, what's out there, your imagination is unlimited, because just like we exist here, any other type of life form could exist out there. But when it comes to the world of comic books, if you're going to do a comic book and it's based on galaxies far from here, it could be anything you want it to be. It could look like anything you want it to look. The aliens could look really weird. The people could be different. It could be whatever you want. That was like really why I like Star Wars so much, because when you look at Star Wars, it's an off-world. It's a galaxy far, far away. So therefore, any type of creature, any type of human being or type of humanoid person, anything could happen. Your mind is free to let go. We'll talk about books where homeboy's imagination went wild. Can't wait no more. Let me show you. This book is called METABARONS. Let me show it to you. And if you haven't read this book, oh man, you need to read it. This is one of the illest graphic novels that I've ever read. I mean, ill. Totally ill. If you're a hip-hop head and you love graphic novels and good comic books and graphic novels, grab this joint up, put it in your knapsack, and on your downtime, your free time, start reading it. Because once you start, you ain't going to want to put it down. And you ain't going to believe what goes on in here. It's crazy. It's called METABARONS. And it's the flyest book I've read in decades. And every time I run into a head that says, I don't even know what to read or how I should start, I give them the basic rundown. Read this, do this, go there, go there. But I also say, in the midst of you doing all that regular, open your mind to this. Read this. Here's the artist up front. There's the artist and the writer. Sorry about the blurriness. Okay, I hope you can get that. Alright. METABARONS. You can't miss it. I can't pronounce money name, and I'm not even going to try. But that's his name. Oh, there we go. There's a nice clean shot of it. Okay, write that JODOROWSKY. He's the writer, and I think the kid Jimenez is the artist on this one. Great book. All right, so you got it, METABARONS. Now, once I had finished that, and believe me, I took my time with that. That wasn't a guzzle. That was a sip. That was a pinky up, take your time, savor it kind of book. You don't rush through that. Sometime later, they came up with a prequel to that book. So basically, you would say that this is number one. This is like book one, and that was book two. This is book one, the prequel. Check this out. This is the prequel to METABARONS. This basically tells the story before all the craziness and space travelness went on in that book. And I love the way it goes from them being almost like, basically living on their planet, doing all kind of nonsense. Then they just take off into outer space and they discover whole new worlds and new people and new all kind of new adventures going on. And it's ill. This is his like grandmother or something, or his mother or his grandmother at the time. I don't know. I don't remember every detail. And I don't want to get into it. I just want to tell you that the book is fly. You need to get it. And you need to read it. You're going to love it. So this is book one. This is the prequel. So it'd be good to go out and get both. You want to get both of these at the same time. Because I do not suggest you read this without reading this first. All right, so get both. Got it? All right, I hope you got it. I hope you wrote it down. And freeze the videos. That way you can write it down. Freeze it. Freeze it. Do like a mannequin challenge with it. Okay, mannequin challenge over. Okay. Also, later on, they came out with the METABARONS are weapons of the METABARONS. The kind of weapons he needed to gather up in order to fight off certain enemies and stuff like that. Crazy book. So this is nice. And this is not a book three. This is more like a standalone. So you have the option of getting it, but I wouldn't get any of the METABARONS series without having all of them. It makes sense. This is a nice standalone story that you can definitely read. Weapons of the METABARON. Great book. Great stuff. So that was my review. It was really quick. Like I said, basically, so is the book a schnick or is the book a whip? Well, in my opinion, definitely a whip, kid. Go get it. You gotta have it. Okay. If you don't have it in your collection, get it. You can't read it. Read it. And for those that don't even like people say, well, I don't read comic books. I said, well, this is not a comic book. Though it's done in what you might seem to you a comic book format, but really it's considered a graphic novel. So, two words, graphic and novel. Graphic is, of course, graphics, pictures. Novel, words. Lots of words. But you have the best of both worlds. You have all the words and the great storytelling of a novel with the added pictures. Look at that artwork. Oh, look at that crazy right there. Crazy artwork. Beautiful artwork and a great story, a credible story. And here's the thing. I read this like maybe 5 years ago. So you know what? I'm due for another read. And this is the kind of joint, man, you might want to read this maybe every 5 years. Take it out and go, ooh, let me read that again. And if you're not going to read it again, at least look at the pictures again, because the story is incredible. It's ill. It's ill. I think I once heard a critic mention, because I went online and I watched some of the documentaries on this gentleman here. This gentleman here, if you punch his name in, in red here, see in red? If you punch his name into YouTube, you will find, and you put METABARONS, you will find a lot of videos and documentaries him talking. And I remember one critic saying that it's the greatest sci-fi movie or that will never get made. And that's a shame, because it needs to be made into a movie, either an anime or a live action. I would probably love live action CGI style. But if they're going to do it, you can't cut one thing out. You got to do it page per page. Don't cut no shortcuts. So go out and get your copy of METABARONS. If you don't got one, go get it. METABARONS. And anything related to the METABARONS is dope. So this is CC4C giving METABARONS a big whip. Go and grab it. Hope you enjoyed the information I gave you, and I'm out. Peace. And don't forget, collectors assemble. Peace.